the mention of the word impeachment.
Well, it is kind of crazy to talk about impeachment. Talk about impeachment is insane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Impeaching a president's only happened 3 times in history. Only.
Well, I remember Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon was not impeached.
Or when he had the Watergate scandal.
But he wasn't impeached. He resigned. He wasn't impeached.
And I remember when I was in the States, and then he resigned.
Yeah, he resigned, but that wasn't an impeachment.
Yeah, and I was so shocked.
The only presidents ever impeached were Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton.
Yes, I remember when Clinton was impeached.
So this is the 3rd president up for impeachment in the entire almost 300-year history of the United States.
Wow.
And that seems kind of ridiculous that he would be brought up on these kind of charges. Well, there's no charges. Nobody can explain to you what he's being impeached for, which is kind of funny.
I heard about it and I'm like, why is this happening? What did he do?
It's a good question. Nobody can answer that question.
I mean, if people don't like him, it's one thing, but it's one thing not to like a person as opposed to wanting to impeach, and then for what reason? You
can't impeach a president because he hurt your feelings.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
Exactly. And like you said, Howie, what is the exact reason why he's being impeached?
I don't know.
And I don't know. I don't know either.
Well, they made up some stupid reason about a phone call he had with the Ukrainian president, but the Ukrainian president said that the phone call, there was nothing wrong with the phone call. So, it's just kind of dumb. This whole thing is just kind of dumb.
Yeah, but also at the same time, presidents call other politicians all over the world all the time.
Yeah.
So what could it have possibly be in that particular phone call that happened?
Well, it's a good question. I have no idea.
And I still,
there's nothing that happened in that phone call.
I mean, I'm not crazy about Trump either, but I'm not, just because I'm not crazy about Trump, like you said, I'm not going to say he should be impeached because he said something or did something that hurt my feelings. Number one, I'm not a U.S. resident. Number two, I still, like you, Howie, what is the exact reason why he's being impeached? Or
so they say that he threatened, or he wanted to hold back funds from Ukraine unless they looked up dirt on his political rival Joe Biden. But that's not really what happened. But that's not really what happened, because if you take a look at the transcript, that's not exactly what he said. It's not at all what he said.
And this is exactly why a lot of people don't want to go into politics.
And he made the transcript public, right? Because he said, I didn't do anything wrong. So here's the transcript, read it. And people read it and they said, well, there's nothing really here that's impeachable. But then again, there they go. They're trying to impeach him. So you figure it out. So it's gonna end up. I put up my prediction the other day on Facebook. So if you check out my Facebook page, my prediction's there. They're going to call in witnesses, and they're not going to allow Republicans to call in witnesses. The Democrats. Then it's going to go to the Senate, and the Senate is going to vote it down. And so he'll end up with this exact same result as Bill Clinton did. He'll be impeached by the Congress and acquitted by the Senate, and not removed from office. And then he'll go to elections, and then he'll probably win the election with a landslide, like Bill Clinton did.
That's what I'm wondering. If the impeachment, if it goes south, is that going to make Trump win the next election, because people are just going to have more confidence in him?
Well, let me tell you that Bill Clinton, after he was impeached, won the election by a landslide.
That's true.
That's true.
So do you think the same thing will happen with Donald Trump?
I can't imagine anything different is going to happen.
I think Trump will win. I'm not a Trump fan either, but I think he's going to win. You know why? It's very simple. The Democrats don't have a decent candidate yet.
No, they don't have a decent candidate at all.
Well, the Democrats really haven't done much.
And now Hillary Clinton's talking about getting back into the game, and that would be disastrous. Disastrous.
Yeah, it would be the worst. It would be the worst effect on the Democrats.
All right, you're listening.
Basically, guarantee Trump the win if
she
gets that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't do it.
You're listening to the Howie Silbiger Show right here on the True Talk Radio Network. We are live streaming on the Howie Silbiger Show page on Facebook, and also my personal page, the Howie Silbiger page on Facebook. And you could get in on the conversation if you want. The number to call, 1-877-669-1292. It's 1-877-669-1292. Mark, David, and Sheldon Eric Freed are here with me. And, of course, you could be on the phone. We're talking about the Trump impeachment and the crazy Democrats who want to impeach Trump. Do you think the Democrats are nuts?
It might be.
You know what? The Democrats are very weak, and I think they're going to try to do anything to see if they can get any kind of, any kind of maneuverability, any kind of to let the ball start rolling. But this is not the way to go about it. Like you said, Mark, they really didn't amount of, a big. There was no. They're very, very weak, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, they have no leadership. That's the problem.
And they got no leadership, and they're basically chasing their tails.
Well, look, it's
The more I
just
look at this, the more I realize, these guys, they're just running scared. I mean, it's a big thing to say that they want to impeach the president.
Yeah.
And it's like that's their last option. None of their candidates are good. They have like 25 candidates right now. Beto O'Rourke just dropped out. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
And that still leaves them with more than I can even count. So, and they'll probably do more useless debates on CNN or whatever.
Well, they'll definitely do more useless debates on CNN.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they won't.
They're so unwatchable, honestly.
CNN. I just heard. I just saw Dennis Prager, and he just released a video saying that he's getting 1 million views on Facebook.
Yeah, wow.
On his Facebook posts, he's getting 1 million views. And he says, and that's more views than CNN gets in any show on the network. Isn't that sad?
Look, I'm all for reporting the news, but I literally cannot watch CNN anymore.
CNN has gone downhill. CNN has really gone downhill.
If I have to watch the news, what I will do is I'll watch maybe the CTV News Channel or CBC, or just go online or listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Because CNN, honestly, it's just 24/7 sensationalism.
All right,
CNN and Fox, they're both like that.
So we got a message.
Fox either.
So we got a message on Facebook. Lynn says there is no way they will win, as they just can't get it together. They lack leadership.
Lynn's 100%.
They
right.
lack leadership for sure. I hate Trump, but let's face it, he will win. Just hope the people around him are not idiots as well.
That's important.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Anybody in their right mind, no matter if you're the prime minister, or no matter which party, or president, no matter which party, you're only as good as the people, as the team that forms around you.
That's true.
That's true.
And you have to be smart enough.
If you don't have a good team, if Trump has a good team,
but Sheldon, you have to be smart enough to hire a good team. You have to be skilled enough to realize who's good and who's not so good.
Exactly. Yeah.
A lot of people hire good people, and then they get rid of those good people because they don't realize what they have until it's gone.
That's it.
So you got to realize what you have, and you got to appreciate what you have. Look, Mark's been on the show for 12 years. He's been on the show 12 years because I appreciate what he brings to the show. That's why he's on the show for 12 years. Otherwise, he would have been gone after year 1 or after 6 months, like other people have. Mark has watched people come onto the show and disappear because they didn't contribute anything to the show, so they were gone. But if you could
contribute, I learned if I'm going to hang around here, I got to do something. So I
exactly
started doing something, and then I started doing many things, and I'm still here. Present the newscast, and do the discussions with you guys regularly, which are always fun and interesting. Interact with the callers. I used to answer the phone calls. Howie takes care of those himself because we got the 800 number. And if you're going to stay around here, you got to do something. Got to pull your weight. So I did.
That's right. Let me give you the numbers again in case you want to call in. Number to call: 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. Sheldon Eric Freed, my long-suffering producer, is here, and Mark David is here too. Mark has prepared an On the Mark. We haven't done an On the Mark in months. Mark has been missing in action for months and months and months.
Do you have his music and intro?
Do I have an intro for Mark?
If you allow me the time, Howie, I can tell you why you and the listeners why exactly I've been gone, and the reasons behind it are totally legit. I didn't just say, "Well, I don't want to do the show." There's been a lot of changes going on. Mark
was not quitting the show. That's what he's trying to say. No.
I didn't. I know there's people who often wonder where I am on the show if I'm not there, because they're used to hearing me presenting On the Mark or discussing things with you and Sheldon.
I actually often wonder where you are, Mark. I often wonder.
Well, you'll get the answer because that's sort of why I was gone. So there's been some changes here in Toronto. I'm still in Toronto. But I moved, and moving requires a lot of work.
Yes, it does.
Disconnect everything. I had no access to my audio equipment, to my microphone, my computer, so I couldn't go on the show. So, and then also we had the holidays. We were off for the high holidays.
Yeah, we're off for almost a month for that. Yeah,
that's right. And now I'm fully settled into my new place, which we will now call the York Hill Theater. We've moved from the Ramblewood Studios, and now I'm back. I have everything set up. The computer's working. The microphone should be working. I mean, you guys can hear me, so we know it is. And
Sheldon, do you hear something? I don't know if I hear him.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I've had a myriad of issues with audio equipment over the years. It's become sort of a running joke on the program.
It's not a running joke. It's actually the biggest joke.
It's not a
joke
running joke. It's a sitting joke.
It is a sitting joke because we're all sitting. But it's a sitting running joke, whatever you want to call it. And now we have audio equipment that is decent.
Yes, we do.
That it's comfortable. And we have me back on the show picking up from where I left off.
All right, Mark. So let's without further ado, let's just get to your On the Mark here on the True Talk Radio Network. I don't have any music for you, so let's just do it, Mark. Let's just do it.
Well, you were just saying if you're going to be on the show, you got to do stuff. So I'll intro myself. Dun, 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 dun. This is On the Mark for November 3rd, 2019. I'm Mark David, and here comes the news. It's one thing to play hooky from school, but it's another if you have an accomplice helping you do so. Most kids rely on a friend or even their parents to get out of school, but some kids at a school in Louisiana got help from an unlikely source. The Huffington Post reports that Belinda Gale Fondren, a 52-year-old woman who worked at a medical clinic in Evans, Louisiana, was arrested for selling fake doctor's notes to high school students to help them cut class. According to Vernon Parish Sheriff Sam Kraft, Fondren sold bogus medical excuses to students for $20 each. Fondren's best customers were two students at Evans High School who purchased 14 medical notes from her. The scheme was finally uncovered after a physician from the clinic received a call from the Vernon Parish School Board about the notes. The doctor said he never treated the students, nor did he ever authorize the notes. Some students will go to great lengths to get out of school, but this idea is just plain sick.
I like that pun. Plain sick. Not bad.
Plain sick, yeah.
Not bad, Mark. Not bad.
Come for the news, stay for the puns.
Not bad.
We've all heard stories about criminals making bizarre or specific demands to authorities. In one such instance in Illinois, a criminal wanted to play dress-up, and the cops were more than happy to oblige. According to the Huffington Post, 25-year-old Brandon W. Conte, who had failed to appear in court for a drunk driving charge, saw his mugshot posted on the Kankakee County Sheriff's Department's Facebook page.
Could you say that 5 times fast?
Probably not, to be honest with you.
You couldn't even say it 1 time slow.
Radio
So could you say 5
101.
times fast?
Kankakee County Sheriff Department's Facebook page.
All right.
That's in Illinois, Kankakee, Illinois. He saw the photo and commented on it and said he would surrender on one condition, that the police modify it to include a costume. The office staff complied and added a sailor's uniform and a hat that read "Ahoy" to the photo. Conte liked the photo and subsequently turned himself in, as promised. He's behind bars now, but I bet he'd rather be sailing.
Yeah. Wow, the police actually doctored the photo to put a hat on it.
They gave him a sailor suit and a sailor hat. It said "Ahoy." They actually did it. They photoshopped it on.
That's so special.
I know.
I guess he could leave his hat on. Okay.
In terms of demands made by criminals, maybe one of the more easier to accomplish ones. Sometimes they ask for a lot of money or a vehicle or some object or some person. But this time he just wanted a costume. I guess this happened around Halloween, which we just had around here on the 31st of October.
Or the 1st of November, depending on if you listen to the city or not.
Oh, yes. Right.
That's true.
Over here in Toronto, that day was extremely rainy. I remember well. So no kids on the street. Actually, no kids on the street here anyway, because where I live is predominantly Jewish.
Oh.
Yep. Same
Well,
thing
so
on
they don't trick or treat. Jews don't trick or treat.
On Purim, they do the Mishloach Manot, which is why when people ask me about what that holiday is, I said it's Halloween in reverse.
Well, not really.
Well, sort of.
There's no
Instead of-
paganism.
I used
in-
to go trick or treating for Halloween. Did you, Howie?
Never. I never
No?
celebrated pagan holidays.
I didn't do it either.
And I know people will take me up on it's not pagan anymore, but I mean the origins of the holiday are pagan, and I'm not into paganism.
Can't say I'm a fan either. We never celebrated Halloween because we were Jewish. We had better things to do.
That's right.
If you wanted candy, there are other ways to get it.
Yeah, go to a store and buy some.
Yeah, or every house has.
Like regular people, go to the store and buy some. Look,
I-
we teach our kids. Don't take candy from strangers. Don't take rides from strangers. Then we let them use Uber, and then we have them go around on Halloween collecting candy from strangers. You tell me.
Well,
that makes
you know
any
what?
sense.
When I was a kid going out for Halloween, we always went to people that we knew. Like we never went to strangers. We were basically in the neighborhood, and that's how we would get our candy. We never went to strangers because my parents were really strict on that. So
Oh yeah, because you got to be insane to go
Yeah.
to
When I was
strangers.
growing up, they actually closed off a street in Hampstead, I believe it was. I don't know which street it was. It was years and years ago. And they actually turned that into like a trick-or-treating zone. So you could go from house to house on that one street
yeah.
and fill up your bag with candy.
Oh,
We used to have a thing at my former employer used to call Safe Halloween, and when my kids were young, we would be either on the Bell Center ice or the Montreal Forum ice. It would be completely transformed into a haunted house, and all these major candy sponsors would sponsor it. The kids would go around and would collect candies, and we'd all be dressed up in different costumes, and it was really an amazing. Kids had a wonderful time. Like that was that was controlled, and it was safe, and it was really a really good thing.
When I was in elementary school, we had something like that. We just went from classroom to classroom. Everybody knew all the teachers, so it's totally fine.
But you know what? Like, here's the first time that I could remember that Halloween was ever postponed from a mayor to go from one day to another. Now, the thing is, pick your poison. Like you said, Mark, it was raining in Toronto on the 31st. It was raining here. And it was either going out on a very wet night.
What's
on the
wrong with that?
31st,
What's wrong with that?
Or, well, that's it. I mean, I used to go out in all different types of weather. Why are they doing it now? And the weather used to be much colder than it was on the 31st. It was sometimes we would have snow here on the 31st. We would go out, we would put the costume over the coat or whatever the case is. We dress up for it. That's what we do.
Right.
Like why, like that's what I don't. If you're going to do it, then go out. Make sure you're dressed warm and properly for the elements, and go out for. We used to go out for an hour, 2 hours tops, because most 99.9% it was on a school night. So we had to be in early anyway. We went basically in the neighborhood just down the street or a block. Come back. That was the end of that. But the thing was, on the 1st, that's when we had that windstorm. So it was like going out on the 1st or going out on the 31st. Well, pick your poison.
Right. But look, I don't go out anyway, so
Yeah.
I really
So what
didn't
did
care.
what did people used to do? I mean, that's people always used to, when people were going out anyway for Halloween. Why were like that's what I don't get.
And when you tell people don't go out on the 31st, go out on the 1st instead, it has to be a coordinated effort. Otherwise, people in the homes don't know they're giving out candies on the 31st. People walking around don't know which homes to go to. Who's giving out candy on the 31st? Who's giving out candy on the 1st? It's very confusing for people.
Well, yesterday
not
I was
really all
going
that
out
fair.
and I remember passing a park near where I live, and you know where I live, Howie, and the park, which was right near the Y, had 3 big, huge trees that had fallen.
Yeah.
It was cordoned off.
That's a little dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, like they cordoned off. Thankfully, thank God, nobody was hurt. Nobody was in the area.
Well, I saw a tree fall into a house the other day. So, I know what you're saying.
And take a
We
look
had
at
some
this.
Actually, had some problems like that around here too. I think
Did you have a very bad windstorm yesterday, Mark?
it was windy, but I don't think it was to the same extent that it was hitting Quebec.
Yeah,
certainly had
and the
wind.
Maritimes too. There was a clip of a wave, a huge wave, almost hitting a cameraman. The wave was so high over the rocks, it almost devoured the cameraman, almost submerged him.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
and there was some part of I don't know if it was in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, but it was also felt in the eastern part of Canada, Atlantic Canada.
That's
And
really
it
the worst part of that's the worst part of covering storms as a reporter, is that a lot of the times you get stuck out in the storm. You have to be standing out there in the storm, and you get blown away, you get hurt, something could fall on you. It's not the safest job in the world.
No. I used to remember CNN, they would be covered with the orange-clad CNN raincoat, and they'd be covering, I remember Galveston when they had the huge flooding in Galveston.
Yeah.
And there was a reporter that was covering near Galveston, right in the Gulf of Mexico. And the waves, like a couple of times, I thought the waves was going to take the reporter out.
Yeah, it was very possible. That's what happens. Our friend Eric Stackelbeck was covering the New Orleans flooding, Katrina. Katrina. When he was down there covering Katrina, I remember talking to him he was supposed to be on the show, but they sent him out to cover Katrina instead. I remember talking to him as he was covering Katrina, and he was saying, he was almost blown away a few times by heavy currents in New Orleans. That's what it is. It's dangerous. We got another comment on the Facebook page. We're live streaming on Facebook tonight. Lynn says again, my kids had a wonderful time trick-or-treating. It was warm out, actually. Friday was horrible, scary winds, trees and hydro down, no street lights. That is dangerous. I blame the snowflake generation. I agree with her. The snowflake generation, people who want to bubble wrap their kids. And it's a big problem when you want to bubble wrap your kids.
Sure is.
Hey,
we got some more stuff in the On the Mark if you all want to hear it.
Yeah, I'll get there in a minute, Mark.
Sure.
I just want to get back to the snowflake generation. We were just talking about this today, actually, this morning, with somebody that, if you go to the Middle East and you go to Europe, there are very few allergies amongst kids. Kids don't have a lot of allergies. There's no nut allergies and gluten allergies, and all these allergies don't exist in Europe and in the Middle East. But they exist here because we bubble wrap our kids. We don't expose them to the viruses and to the allergens so they can build up antibodies. So that's what happens. They become deathly allergic to everything. If we just laid back and allowed our kids to be kids, we might not have all these allergies.
When we went to school, that's exactly, we used to take peanut butter. We used to take a lot of this stuff.
I know my school used to be okay, but then they started sending notes home about people with extreme peanut allergies. We had one such person who was actually in my class, and so we couldn't bring any of that to school anymore. And if we were going to bring in food for like someone's birthday, like a cake or cupcakes or things like that, it all had to be like peanut free. Or in the case of the few kids who kept kosher, like me, it had to be from a kosher store or bakery or whatever.
Yeah, so when the Israelis have kids, we use the Israelis because I know that example pretty well. When they have kids, the first thing they do is they shove peanuts into the kid's mouth. That's what they do, and that way the kid gets used to eating peanuts, and it doesn't develop an allergy for peanuts. They expose kids to these kind of foods at a young age, which allows these kids to be exposed to these foods at a young age and not be allergic to them at an older age. So anyway, that was my little off the cuff rant.
Because I know when my girlfriend was teaching in Israel for about 5, 6, 7 years, that's exactly what they did. They never gave notices out to the kids. They always gave the kids peanuts. The parents always did that, and they never had a problem with any allergic reactions from any of the kids in the school.
Yeah. All right, Mark. Let's continue with On the Mark. I want to hear the end of this.
Yes, sir. On the Mark is committed to helping you win with words. Our word of the week is gentacular. Gentacular.
Gentacular.
Gentacular.
Gentacular.
What that
sounds
means?
like a Bruce Jenner story.
All right. Sheldon, use gentacular in a sentence before Mark defines it. Gentacular, Mark. Sheldon. Gentacular.
When you hear the definition, you're not going to believe it.
Come on, Sheldon. You're 150 years older than me.
Gentacular. Okay. Well, there were a couple of people that looked so similar.
They were gentacular.
I would really say that they were gentacular. I don't know.
You have no idea how far off you are.
I'm sure. I don't question that at all.
Howie,
what about you? Can you use?
Oh, you want me to use the word gentacular in a sentence?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a little girl. She was playing with Barbies, and she had Barbie, and then she had gentacular. It was a special needs Barbie.
If if you think about it,
I don't know what I'm talking
named
about.
Jennifer, and she happens to be spectacular. She
Could be gentacular for sure.
Yeah, I know a few Jennifers. Shout out to my aunt.
All right, Mark. What does gentacular mean?
You guys are so far from what it means.
I'm pretty sure we were.
I don't doubt it.
It's not. It's literally not even funny. Gentacular is a noun, and it refers to anything that is of, like, or pertaining to breakfast.
Of, like, or pertaining to breakfast.
So those two people that looked alike were having similar breakfast favorites.
So,
and
one
that's what
sec.
it was.
Are we saying my cereal is gentacular?
Your cereal is gentacular. Your toast is gentacular. Your coffee, that's also gentacular.
How would I ever use this in a sentence? Where would I ever use it? Why would I ever use this in a sentence? I mean, I've just asked.
How would you use it in a sentence?
I just did all the 5 W's. I know, but I mean, like, what the heck?
Well,
W5 here.
The point of the word of the week is to educate people about words they might have never heard before.
I just learned a new word. Tell me how am I going to use this word in a sentence is the question.
Everyone listening to this show just learned a new word, and now they're 0.1% smarter than they were a minute ago. So you're welcome, everybody.
So tell me, how am I going to use this in a sentence, Mark? What? Give me one scenario where I would use this in a sentence.
Maybe you have, let's say you're in school still, and you have a home economics. Do they still teach that class?
No.
Oh, they used to in my school, my high school.
That's gentacular.
That is gentacular.
Yeah. Anyway, the teacher might say, today we are going to discuss gentacular things, and everyone would be like, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah.
Gentacular things are things relating to breakfast. The food, what is used to prepare the food, utensils, etc.
That is what gentacular means. Okay, folks.
Yes, so if you're able to, use it in a sentence today and impress your friends with your whimsical word knowledge.
I'll never look at breakfast the same way again.
You should just walk into the kitchen and go, oh my gosh, it's so gentacular.
Yes. I love it.
Whoa, I've been gentaculated. Sounds so dirty.
Yeah.
Is that a great word or what?
That's a spectacular word.
Amazing word.
That's a gentacular word, Mark.
That's a gentacular word. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly what it is.
Exactly. That word is very gentacular.
It might be one of the best we've ever had.
Oh, yeah. It's up there, that's for sure.
Speaking, Mark's been watching too many Trump rallies. Maybe the best we've ever had, or it could just be the best, or maybe I'm just the best. Or
anyway. No. God forbid I watch a Trump rally. But we have another part here that everybody likes.
Do. Yeah.
The random.org, random 5-digit number of the week.
Oh, we can't go a week without the
spectacular.
It's been 3 months since we had the random number of the week, and I've missed it because I've actually lost the lottery every week because I haven't had a random number of the week to play on, Mark.
Well,
I'm blaming it on you.
We'll try this one for size, Howie.
Yeah.
90925. 90925. That number could come in handy in some ways.
90925.
That sounds like a zip code in the States.
Yeah, really.
It sounds like a sequel to or a spin-off of Beverly Hills 90210.
That too.
Yep.
You know what would be funny? Why don't we do a Google search?
That's gentacular.
See where that very gentacular number is actually the zip code for, if in fact it is.
All right, Mark, you're a researcher, so let's find out.
We're going off the mark, so to speak.
Another play on words, another gentacular play on words.
Yeah.
We're not. Somehow I don't think we're using that. Somehow I don't think we're using that word properly. But
you think?
I don't think. Yeah. Well, sometimes I think.
Hmm.
All right, Mark. So what'd you find?
Well,
sounded like you destroyed your keyboard, Mark.
He's banging it on the table. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to type?
We're looking at a site.
Yeah.
A site here that's literally called zipcodes.com, zip-codes.com.
You have the weirdest resources of anybody I know.
Yep.
It's look, you do a Google search, you find something, and you just run with it. That's how I used to write articles when I was a journalist.
Zipcodes.com, Mark.
I find interesting sources, and some of them are a little out there. but it made for a great.
Some of them.
Hey, you guys have never read any of my work. Maybe one day I can facilitate you with that. Anyway, 90925.
I think I've read some of your work.
Have you?
I think so.
All right. Well, it turns out 90925 is not an active area code.
That's
Could be
horrible.
someday.
Terrible. Terrible.
Oh, that's spectacular.
Terrible. That's gentacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
So Sheldon, are you gonna do that tomorrow? Walk into the kitchen and go, "This is gentacular."
As a matter of fact, I just walked into the kitchen just before, and that's exactly what I said.
Oh, good.
Although I'm the only person who know that I said it, but okay.
Right, because you're
Right
alone.
now,
but
you're
I
not
understand.
eating breakfast. It's
No.
like after 8 p.m. It's close to 9. You're not.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it lives in an all breakfast restaurant, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Those
that's it.
exist. Yeah, you can get like 24-hour breakfast.
So 24-hour breakfast place, you can walk in any time of day and say that's gentacular.
Yep.
Good evening, my good man. I require something of you that is gentacular, and then you get a very weird expression back.
And the manager will say, "Do you see the door?"
Yeah, gentacular way out of there.
Exactly.
We don't understand what you're saying, sir. So we'll have to kindly ask you to leave.
Yeah, not so kindly.
And I'm going to say, I learned that word from Mark David. You're going to kick me up because I learned the word from Mark David?
On the
they're gonna
Howie
say-
Silbiger show.
Oh, Mark David on the Howie Silbiger show. Sure, okay.
He's
Order whatever
gentacular.
gentacular breakfast that you want. Okay. Then when I
Or
get the bill,
happen.
Yeah.
Or the reverse will happen. Mark David, you mean that second-rate news reporter from that third-rate radio show?
Yeah, that's it.
no. First-rate news reporter, number one internet radio show.
We are the number one internet radio show as judged by us.
Yep.
Judged by us. Okay,
Yep.
that's it. That's as impartial as you're going to get.
We are the number one radio show
correct.
judged by
You
us.
must be correct.
And that's the only
Move
judge-
over Simon Cowell because we're the impartial judge.
That is the
Judges.
only judging that matters to us.
That's it.
So we are happily accepting the mantle as the number one radio show, as selected by the staff and producers of the Howie Silbiger show.
That's it.
And we're also, and I'm sure you guys agree with this as well, the number one radio show that's airing on TrueTalkRadio.com.
That's
Yes.
true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have
Number
a lot
one
of radio shows
we're-
airing on True Talk Radio, but we're the best one.
We're the number one live show airing on TrueTalkRadio.com.
That's it. And now we're going to be the number one show on TrueTalkRadio.com 3 nights a week now.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
See?
And
Number
because
one
we're
live show.
because we're live, that means that you could call in. And numbers to call are 1-877-669-1292.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't forget the Facebook Howie to like the Howie Silbiger show as well as send him a tweet of support.
Send me a tweet of support. Really? Send me a tweet.
Well, then you're going to start getting things. Howie, you're absolutely gentacular. So you'll get that on a tweet. It's less than 150 characters.
Okay, so
If there's anyone else who wants to send me some gentacular tweets, at Mark E. David on Mark E. David on Twitter. I'm on the Twitter machine. I actually use it.
okay,
I was going to ask you, how often do you use it?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on there a few times per day just to see what's happening. I read more than I comment or tweet, but there's always interesting stuff there.
okay, so we lost a like this week on Facebook.
Did we?
Yeah, we lost a like on our Facebook.
That's
page.
gentacular. That's disgusting.
That was really not gentacular.
No.
So if you're listening and you haven't liked the Howie Silbiger Show Facebook page, please click like on the page.
Yeah.
We want to make back the one we lost and maybe add another 2 or 3 more.
And if you see Howie right now, you see him wearing a black shirt and, so much oomph and emphasis and effort that goes into each and every one of the shows with all of the staff and producers here. Judged by us, of course, to be the
Of course,
best
yeah,
radio
yeah.
show in the world.
That's
yes.
right. Judged by the Howie Silbiger Show
That's it.
staff. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Because
You get like
that's
a True
that's
Talk
the stuff
Radio jacket or something.
I have hats and shirts. I gave you a shirt.
Yeah, I got a T-shirt and
Yeah.
I got a T-shirt and a hat. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I ever got one. I don't do much on camera stuff anymore.
And
but,
you're not much in Montreal, so it's hard to get you
that's
stuff.
the problem.
So you see,
never in Montreal-
Mark, you have to move back to Montreal. That's what you have to do.
That's really
guess
the
I do.
solution here.
But
Yeah.
but my offer, my long withstanding offer still stands. If I'm in Montreal and I have the time and I see you have an extra mic in the studio, I will join you in there, Howie, and we'll do the show like that.
Says Mark David, who was in Montreal a couple of weeks ago and didn't even bother saying hi.
I was there for high holidays, for Rosh Hashanah only. It was literally a there and back kind of trip. I came, stayed for Rosh Hashanah, and then literally went back to Toronto the next day.
Literally.
After Rosh Hashanah.
Literally.
It was a quick one, and I wasn't at your shul, Howie, unfortunately. I was at a different shul closer to where I live. Not that the one that we usually go to is far, but that's where my family and I praise on
that is quite literal.
Yes.
Literally.
Literally literal? Okay.
It's literally literal.
That's
spectacular. It's better than illiterate or illiteral.
1-877-669-1292 is the number to call. 1-877-669-1292. I'm Howie Silbiger. This is the Howie Silbiger Show right here on the True Talk Radio Network. Sheldon Eric Freed.
Howie Mitchell Silbiger.
Yes. No.
That sounds good, actually. That's a good one.
HMS. That's what I always call it. That's what I always said, like HMS.
Howard Mitchell Silbiger.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Well, my initials are HMS, but my middle name is not Mitchell. So.
Oh, Mechaim.
Wait a minute. Maybe my Hebrew name is the answer. My Hebrew name, for those who don't know, is Mordechai.
Mechaim? What the heck's a Mechaim?
Mechaim or
what's a
Mordecai?
Mechaim? I've never heard that name. What's a Mechaim?
Wait a minute. There's a word, a Machaya in Yiddish, but that's not really a name.
Well, it is
anybody
Howie
named
is a Mechaim
Mechaim.
to the Howie Silbiger Show.
Did you hear the one about the famous Yiddish singer, Machaya Carey? Yeah.
Machaya Carey.
Wow. And I thought my
All
jokes. I thought my jokes were bad. You know,
come for the newscast, stay for the dad jokes.
I teach high school, and every day in my high school classes, I put up a joke of the day on the board.
Oh,
every single day, right?
Yeah.
So last week's joke was, lady says, "Hey, does anybody know who could build me a boat?" And the man says, "I know a guy."
Oh God. Oh.
It kind of made me laugh.
Crickets. We had a cricket sound effect.
Then today's joke was what kind of room doesn't have a door? A mushroom.
I got one. We've decided to start telling dad jokes. It's funny. I'm not a dad, but I have.
Time for me to take a Tylenol. Okay.
These were pretty bad jokes.
It's funny. I tell these dad jokes. I have a dad. He sometimes tells jokes, but his jokes are much better than mine.
Right.
But anyway, for
hopefully they were much better than Howie's school jokes.
I can top that. I swear to God, I can top that.
Hey, Sheldon, did you hear about the kid? Did you hear about the kidnapping in the park? They woke him up.
Oh.
What do electricians talk about when they get together?
What?
Shocking conversations?
Well, close. I was going to say current events.
Current events.
Okay.
Mark, what did the snowman say to the other snowman?
What?
Do you smell carrots?
Okay, that's all right. That's a little bit better.
I think when you write up the description for the show, when you post it later, Howie, you got to include Howie, Sheldon, Mark also have a dad joke off.
Yeah.
We lost one like, right? We don't want to keep losing likes, eh?
Sheldon, what does a cloud wear under his raincoat?
Silver lining?
Thunderwear.
Oh, okay. Thunderwear.
What's the difference between a bus driver and his cold?
What? What is the difference between a bus driver and his cold?
The driver knows his stops. The cold stops his nose.
Oh.
That's a groaner.
Mark, why do fish live in salt water?
Why?
Because pepper makes them sneeze?
Oh, I thought they were going to say they had a locks on it.
Because pepper makes them sneeze.
Peppers makes them sneeze.
Yeah.
Good.
Why? Oh my gosh. Why is there a fence around a cemetery?
Why?
People are dying to get in.
That's true.
That's true.
What music frightens balloons? What music frightens balloons?
Pop music?
Pop music.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
How does Darth Vader like his toast?
Dark?
On the dark side.
That was close.
What do Alexander the Great and Winnie the Pooh have in common, Sheldon?
They're both honey of a bear.
They have the same middle name.
That's all right. That's good. That's good.
Why do golfers wear 2 pairs of pants?
Why do golfers?
Golfers. Why do they wear 2 pairs of pants?
They wanted to get a hole in one?
In case he gets a hole in one, yeah.
Okay.
What does the policeman say to his belly button?
Donut. Stop at a donut place?
You're under a vest.
Oh.
How do you make holy water?
How do you make holy water?
You boil the hell out of it.
Oh.
How do you make a tissue dance?
How do you make a what dance?
A tissue. How do you make
I
a
know
tissue
this one.
dance?
You put a little boogie in it.
Put a little boogie in it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And his name is Hanky. Okay.
Why was the broom late?
Which broom?
No, why was the broom late?
Which broom? Which, like in Broomwich?
No, because it overswept.
Overswept.
What did the toilet say to? What did one toilet say to the other toilet?
I feel flushed?
You look flushed.
Okay.
If a child refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest?
Oh. That's good when you have kids.
What
I'm around
race?
kids sometimes.
What races never run?
Trump?
The human race.
A swimming race.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Why did the little boy throw his clock out the window?
Because he wanted this. He wanted to have time stand still.
He wanted to see time fly.
Oh, okay. I thought with the clock smashing.
Sheldon, how does a
Okay.
train eat?
As long as they were on the right track.
It goes choo-choo.
Oh, okay.
You know, sometimes when I'm feeling down, my friend tells me, cheer up, man, it could be worse. Could be stuck underground in a hole full of water. I know he means well.
Oh, well in water. Okay.
Okay, Sheldon, I have a serious question for you.
Yes.
Do you know how many famous men and women were born on your birthday?
Me. One.
None, actually. They were all babies.
Oh, grown.
I actually share my birthday with, I think, like 4 of my brother's friends and one famous person. I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
Want to know who it is?
Who?
It's a hockey player, former Ottawa Senators captain Daniel Alfredson, has the same birthday as
Daniel
me.
Alfredson?
Alfredson.
Alfredson.
Yeah. That would be December 11th. And during his career, he wore number 11, also my favorite number for the same reason. It's my birthday. Yeah.
What do you give a sick lemon, Sheldon?
What do you give a sick lemon? I don't know. Sour, something sour. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Lemonade.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the washroom?
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the washroom?
He wanted to wing it?
Close, because the P is silent.
Oh, I think I like my answer better.
Why are penguins socially awkward?
Why?
Because they can't break the ice.
That's good. That's
Story
good.
of my life.
Where do sheep go for a haircut?
What's that?
Where do sheep get a haircut?
At the Bahama?
At the Baha shop.
Okay.
What? Sounds like a Bostonian saying that.
The Baha shop.
The barber shop.
The barber
Near the
shop.
garden.
Yeah,
This
so
is a
the same
zombie
thing. Same thing if you go to New York, you have a cup of coffee down from Montreal.
Yeah, you gotta go get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Why did the dinosaur cross the road?
What?
Why did the dinosaur cross the road?
Why?
The chicken hadn't evolved yet.
What does a zombie vegetarian eat?
What did the zombie
Vegetarian eat.
Instead of brains, it's grains.
Brains.
That's a Halloween joke. Okay.
What do you give a sick bird?
A quacker?
Tweetment.
Tweetment.
Yeah, I thought I saw a putty cat. I did saw a putty cat.
All right, the last one. Which animal needs oil?
Castro?
A mouse, because it squeaks.
I got
I
one
agree.
more for you. What they say, right?
Yeah,
Don't trust atoms. They make up everything.
they make up everything.
Also, never play leapfrog with a unicorn.
That's actually probably a very good piece of advice.
Especially if you're male.
Don't care if you're male or female. It's a
Yeah.
very good piece of advice.
Very good advice indeed.
It seriously is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We only give good advice on the show.
Otherwise, you'd hit the sack.
Huh?
You're telling me.
What are you talking
Hit the sack like go to sleep.
What?
Get it?
No.
Okay. Well, do you know the other version of it?
Of what?
Never mind. Okay. I can't mention it because otherwise it'll be no. That's no good.
What?
I think Mark got it.
What?
Oh, boy.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Okay. Exactly.
All right, that's it.
I feel gentacular now.
We're all out of time. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me tonight.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you, everybody,
Always
for
happy to do
watching and listening. And we will be back again on Tuesday night at 10 p.m.
Sounds like Elma Fudd.
Tuesday night
we'll
at
be
10
back.
p.m.
Wabbit.
Right here on the True Talk Radio Network.
On the Howie Silbiger show.
The Howie
And don't
Silbiger
forget
Show.
to keep it gentacular.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
always be gentacular. All right.
And next time you want to tell a joke, make sure it's much better than the ones that you heard tonight.
Seriously.
Yes.
You know what? We should let our listeners send us some jokes, and if they can be read on the air, we should read them.
Sure. Mark, what's your email address?
I hope it's still active. Mark at TrueTalkRadio.com.
All right, good luck. All right.
Or post them on the Howie Silbiger Show Facebook page.
Yes.
Or
Yeah, that's a better idea, actually. Just post them on the Howie Silbiger face. Howie Silbiger Show.
Try that again?
Hello.
or if you catch us live, you can call us at 1-877.
That's a slip of the tongue there, buddy.
Join us. I bet. Yeah.
And it's going off the whales.
Going off the whales.
Yeah, just another typical day in the life of the Howie Silbiger Show, ladies and gentlemen. It's degenerated into madness.
Always at the end that Howie screws it up.
Well, you can't be perfect, right?
English is your first language, and you're doing this 3 nights a week?
3 nights a week.
Okay.
All right, that's it. We're out of here. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again on Tuesday night, 10 p.m. right here on the Howie Silbiger Show on the True Talk Radio Network.
Peace out.
I've seen it on the faces of kids all over the world. They're speaking as members of their Jewish community. And what they are all saying is very plain to see. They're sending a message to you and me.